to the finals, never lost.
You never got there.
Who?
You.
I've been a one-on-one champ. Never lost one-on-one.
All right.
Back at it again. It's the Guy Smith, and you know what time it is. It is time for the top 10 most intriguing games of the week 5. And week 5 is going to be incredible. Great slate of games again this week in East Texas. But before we get into those great slates of games, let's talk about what happened in week 4. Let's get into the top 10 players of the week. At number 10 is Braden Mims. He's the I think he's a junior tailback or fullback for Tatum. He had 15 carries, 178 yards, and 2 touchdowns in a big upset win over West Rusk on the road. Mims looks to be a new target. Hadn't really went off in the last couple of weeks. He went off against West Rusk, and that just adds another weapon for this dangerous option offense at Tatum. At number 9, Andon Mata. Incredible numbers, 31 of 42, 415 yards, 6 touchdowns, but it came in a loss, and so that's why it's just at 9. But Mata he does an incredible job at just being a general out there. He's an incredibly accurate quarterback. The offense is never the problem at West Rusk, especially when he's at the helms of quarterback. He found Jeremiah Smith, who had 9 catches for 154 yards and 2 touchdowns, so he had a great game too. At number 8, Jakevian Rogers from Dangerfield, 8 catches, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a loss to center. Rogers has just outshined everybody at Dangerfield. He's been the most valuable player, maybe the quarterback you could argue, but Jakevian Rogers has showed up week in and week out. He is extremely fast. He runs by all of the DBs that he plays, and he's done a really good job this year getting out of the shadow of the 2 D1 guys that we've always talked about. At number 7, Grayson Huron from Troop, 9 of 18 for 304 yards and 2 touchdowns in a big win against Pewitt. Neither one of the teams wanted to stop each other. The game was 60-54 over 114 points. Is that right? Yeah, 114 points scored that night. No defense being played, but Huron does a good job of just being a leader and helping this team to the win. At number 6, Josh Green from White House, 20 of 29 for 374 yards, 4 touchdowns, and adding a rushing touchdown. I like to say I'm right. So I'm right about Josh Green. I had him number 4 coming in, and he might even be better than number 4. He's played incredible football all year long. He has White House undefeated. They look to me probably should be the district favorite as they start district this week. And so I'm excited about White House and the quarterback play of Josh Green. At number 5 is Kevin Pierce from Troop. He had 24 carries, 210 yards, 5 touchdowns, and he had a 49 receiving yard touchdown. An incredible game, in the game where we just talked about it. Nobody really played defense, but Kevin Pierce went off. He's a big kid. He's like really tall. He's like 6'2 and a half, 6'3. Plays running back, and he can do it. He can run it up the middle. He can run it outside. Jalen Hurd kind of comparison when you see him on tape. The guy that played at Baylor in Tennessee. And number 4, Mackenzie McGill from Mount Vernon, 29 carries, 325 yards, and 5 touchdowns against Sabine. Video game numbers from a video game type player in Mackenzie McGill. As you see him taking that direct snap all the way to the crib right there. No, McKenzie's just explosive. He was number 17 on the list last year. Sabine, trouble stopping the run. And Mount Vernon took full advantage of that as McKenzie had a field day against the Cardinals, going for over 325 yards and 5 TDs, which is just absolutely insane. McKenzie McGill. At number 3, Kyler Finney, Winsboro, 21 of 28 for 543 yards and 5 touchdowns over New Boston. And it was like taking candy from a baby early. You see that pitch and catch there to the tight end going for 74 yards all the way into the end zone. Kyler Finney has showed up each and every week. He's been an incredible football player and quarterback for Winsboro. He's going to lead the East Texas in passing yards by a long shot, probably passing touchdowns by a long shot. They got a good system, and Kyler's playing incredible. And it'll be interesting to see how far Winsboro can go. They're undefeated right now. And it'll be very interesting to see what happens with them in the playoffs. Can't get ahead of myself, still got a lot of weeks left. And number 2, Caden Dixon from center, 37 carries, 354 yards, and 6 touchdowns. WTF. What is going on out here? I mean, this guy's looks a lot like the great running back that they had a couple of years ago who finished like number 2, Kamadre Horace, or 32 as well. Built the same, can change gears, looks to be extremely fast, physical, ran all the way through Dangerfield, up and down, inside, outside, didn't really matter. They couldn't get their hands on him, and they weren't very interested in tackling him either. An incredible day, 350-something yards. Oh, my God. And at number 1, 25 carries, 311 yards, 3 touchdowns. 4 catches, 66 yards, 1 touchdown. 2 for 4 passing for 50 yards, 1 touchdown. And a 49-yard interception return for Mr. Do-It-All, Clark Clinton himself from Mineola, Dawson Pendergrass. He does it all. He's been doing it all for them for the last 3 years. He's been an incredible player. The Baylor commit is all over the place. He's bigger, stronger, faster than everybody else that's on the field. He's intimidating. He's like, they don't want to touch him. And then if they do, he get close enough to him, he's stiff-arming them to hell. So a great week from Dawson Pendergrass. Let's get into the top 10 plays of the week. Let's get into the top 10 plays of the week. At number 10, we've got Andon Mata throwing this perfect little dime over 2 defenders, right in the bucket to Jeremiah Smith. And then we've got the second one, which is just as phenomenal. This time an even better kick. At number 9 is W.T. Jones. W.T. Jones is going to get this interception here and return it about 37 yards. Does a good job of breaking the tackle there at the very end to make sure he gets into the end zone for a touchdown for LE. At number 8 is Tadarian Boone, a similar play. He's here, just going to read the quarterback's eyes, step right in front of one, and take his interception all the way back into the end zone. A touchdown for Longview. At number 7, same game, Jalen Hill, the new Alabama Roll Tide, Crimson Tide commit, coming up for Longview. At number 6 is Isaiah Ross. He's going to just, my goodness, just cut through the whole defense like a running back on a video game. My goodness, Ross, going 88 the long way against Hallsville as he slices through the defense. One more run here from Ross. 67-yard swing touchdown pass here. He catches in traffic, makes 2 miss, cuts up on boys, cuts back and bends it back, and then look at the stride. Yeah, open up stride on him. 20, 15, 10, 5. Big win for Kilgore, 41-20 right there. At number 5 is Kyler Finney throwing this absolute dime off of 1 foot, just heaving it in perfect placement. Touchdown, Winsboro. Kyler Finney is the truth. At number 4, Devin McEwen playing safety, steps up in front of this big-time interception against Pine Tree, and then he's going to return it 44 yards as he runs by the quarterback into the end zone. Touchdown, Indians. Here he is on offense running a return screen. It's a bubble, and he comes back in the middle and then just shows everybody why he's committed to UTSA, and they're not. This guy is just on another level. 60-something yard touchdown there from Devin McEwen. At number 3, who we got? We've got Imonte Cross. We got Cash Cross throwing it up to Lance Wilburn. Brick play in the end zone, snatching it away from the Dangerfield DV. And then here we go. It's who is it? Yeah, we tagged this along with Caden Dixon as he had an incredible field day against Dangerfield. That 54-yard touchdown, and then here's a 75-yarder from Caden Dixon as he went for 6 touchdowns against Dangerfield and a big win on the road there for the Rough Riders. And number 2, Dawson Pendergrass. And, man, what a day did he have. Here's the first of 4 explosive touchdowns from Dawson Pendergrass as he takes the swing pass into the end zone. This second one is an interception. I think he's going to take this one back 49 yards. Quarterback just heaves it up. Not going to say anything about it. Stiff arm there. Great stiffy there from Dawson. And then he's going to run all the way into the end zone. And then here's the number 3 play from Dawson Pendergrass here on the power read, straight up the pipe, and then takes the whole entire team. 6 members there from the Bullet defense. Can't get him down before getting him into the end zone. Touchdown, Pendergrass. And here's the last one, a 65-yard quarterback hauling ass as he oh my God. Marshawn Lynch, huh? My goodness, what a stiff arm that was. Touchdown, Pendergrass. At number 1, it's Xavier Dangerfield. He's a top specialist. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. Top shelf. What an incredible catch there over there. So here we go. The top 10 games of the week. At number 10, we've got Lindale at Henderson. And why is this interesting when you've got one team that's 3-1, the other one 0-4? Well, for me, it's the run game from Lindale. I'm very anxious to see what this offensive line does against Henderson, who has struggled to stop people this year. I'm interested in seeing what Will Hutchinson, that guy is probably going to try to go for 20 to 25 knockdowns against them. He's just mean and just nasty enough to do it. So from an offensive line perspective, I'm very interested in that. And then what does Henderson do? They still have Jacoby Robinson, who I think is the best quarterback in East Texas. And with him, there's a potential for highlights and fireworks to be thrown and popped at all times. I'm going Lindale. I'm going Lindale big. But I am intrigued in seeing what Henderson can do against that vaunted Eagle defense. At number 9 is Bullard versus Carthage. And why is this an intriguing game? Because Carthage is absolutely dominant. They just destroyed Marshall, which is just, this is my way to talk about them. They just destroyed Marshall 42-0 in Marshall. Team that is bigger than them, in a larger district than them, and they just went out there and absolutely manhandled them. I'm anxious to see what kind of highlights Connor Cuff puts. I feel like this is going to be a big Connor Cuff game. I'm really to see how not anxious, but how precise he can be, because this could be one of those 24-24 or 24-25 games from Connor Cuff. Anxious about that. At number 8, Mount Vernon versus Mineola, and I think Mount Vernon should be favored in this one, and I think they should probably be a 10-point favorite going into this game. But I really like Mineola at home. Dawson Pendergrass is their everything. And the thing about it is more times than not, he's the best player on the field. And that means so much in high school football. I think he can keep them in the game. And I'm going for shits and giggles. I'm going Mineola with the upset over Mount Vernon tonight. At number 7, it's not Center versus Center. It's Canton versus Center. Canton has Cam Shaw. Cam Shaw is incredible. He's been playing incredible this year. Center has relied on him, and he's just Mr. Everything. He gets in that wildcat, runs the power read. He's just a phenomenal player. He was number 41 on the list last year. I think the world of him. Center, on the other side, they have a running back that's just going as crazy as he is. He just went for 354. You know what I mean? Like, that's insane. Caden Dixon from Center is as good as any running back in East Texas. And it is going to be very interesting to see those two go back at it. I think Center has the stronger offense of the two. They put up numbers against everybody. They haven't won every game, but they put up numbers against everybody. And so I think I'm going to go with the Rough Riders in this matchup against Canton here at number 7. At number 6, Van versus Brownsboro. Brownsboro, an explosive offense, okay? And this Van defense is known to stifle and limit people from doing things that they want to do. I'm very interested in seeing what version of Van we get. Can they come out and can they slow Brownsboro down, or does Brownsboro's electric offense get off and score against Van? I'm going Van in this game, and probably about 10 or more. At number 5, Kilgore versus Palestine. These two are similar. They're similar in physicality. They both want to run the football. They both want to do things in a physical and tough way. Kilgore probably has the advantage in the passing game. Not probably. I think they've got the second best quarterback in East Texas going into this season anyway, and Demarion Van Zant. And I think with that senior leadership and with a big win against Hallsville, with the momentum going into their first district game against Palestine, I am going with the Kilgore Bulldogs in this game. At number 4, LE versus Sulphur Springs. And this is a big game. LE is undefeated. They've found ways to win. They've won ugly. They've won big. It'll be interesting to see what they do against Sulphur Springs, who's won losses to Hallsville. And Hallsville just happened to get off on them offensively that night. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm going Sulphur Springs in this one. I kind of want to trend towards the bigger school, but I just feel like there hasn't been enough explosiveness from that LE offense to just be confident that they can walk into a bigger opponent and be dominant. So I'll be happy if I'm wrong, but I think I'm going with the Sulphur Springs Wildcats in this game. And number 3, Pleasant Grove versus Pine Tree. Pine Tree, they're always going to be in offense and defense this year. So I'm going with PG big in this one against Pine Tree. And number 2, Hallsville at Texas High. It's a district game. And it's the New Look Mavs. Not the New Look Mavs, I'm sorry. It's the New Look Bobcats and Jace Mosley. Their momentum was stopped there by Kilgore. They kind of got handled 41-20. Texas High is a physical football team. Really, this is the team that I think Jace Mosley caught his groove against last year. They put up a good game against Texas High, even though they lost. I think I want to go with Hallsville so bad, but I just know better, and I'm going with Texas High. But if it was a video game, I'd pick Hallsville because I'd want to play and control Jace Mosley. But it's not a video game; it's real life. I think kind of got to go with the reputation and the prestige and the background of a program. So I'm going with Texas High and a program win over Hallsville. I'm not saying it's going to be a big blowout or anything by that means, but I think it's going to be a program win, and I think Texas High's going to take it. And the number 1 game in East Texas tonight is Lancaster versus Longview. And I know Lancaster is not an East Texas team, but this game is as big as it get. You got a team who are full of D1 athletes in Lancaster, and you got the good old Longview Lobos, who have, we've had a good start to the season, have not won a district championship in 2 years, which is uncommon around here. And so you got a hungry team that wants to fight and compete and defend their home turf. Yeah, I know how I'm rocking and how I'm affiliated, so I won't make any predictions, but this is the game to be at. I'm expecting Longview coming off a huge win, 56-7 over Lufkin. Lancaster coming off a huger, even bigger win with a 74-7 win over McKinney North, and they're both in their first 2 district games of the year. I mean, this is the matchup that's been circled on both teams' calendars since we got the calendar in February. Met in the playoffs for the last 2 years, with Longview winning in the second round both times. Both 2 compelling physical games. By no means is there a favorite going into this one. In fact, if anyone is favorite, it's probably Lancaster. But this is going to be fun, guys. And you want to be there for this one if you're in the city. A lot of these games you can catch on the stream, but I think that energy is going to be needed tonight. So if I can get y'all to show up and show out like we used to do it for Old Longview, let's do it tonight, because the guys are going to need your support in a big game and a big matchup between Lancaster Tigers and the Longview Lobos.